you can vividly describe more such books that are been lying around you. Maybe you can say that this is the book that is lying around you. You can name some of the books lying around you. So this concept of exaggeration basically applies to that when you are writing maybe a small line, just kind of put more synonyms to it, or think about more vivid description that you can add to that one particular line so that you could make it in a more descriptive one. So this was the tip on storytelling. The concept is exaggeration. So this is the technique that you could use to enhance your writing. Well, with this, now I would first like to welcome the guest on stage. And first, I would like to invite Toastmaster Raman to please give a short introduction about himself.
Hi all. My name is Raman Singhal. Actually, I'm in a restaurant business. So we are running a 2 cloud kitchens in Delhi and planning to expand more. So I do have some experience in other ventures also, including timber, export, import, and others. Yeah. So I joined Toastmasters 7 months back, and I'm really liking it here. So yeah, that's how it is.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raman, for joining the meeting today. We hope that you like the meeting. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Hiba to please come up on stage and introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hiba Jeribi. I'm a Tunisian, but a medical student studying in Senegal. So I'm both a member of Tunis Toastmasters and Dakar Janvar Toastmasters. I'm glad to be here around you. It's my first time joining an Indian Toastmasters, and I like so much your name. So yeah, I'd like to enjoy my meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hiba, for joining in. It's a pleasure to host you today. Next, I would like to invite guest Ganesh to please come up on stage and to introduce himself.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. I am Ganesh from MAW Toastmasters Kathmandu. It's my first time participating in your meeting. I hope this session will be full of learnings from me, and wishing you all the best, all the role takers and the speakers, for a wonderful day forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ganesh, for joining in. Next, I would like to invite on stage guest Sri Ram to please give a small introduction about himself.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is my first time as a guest in this club. I'm basically from Coastline Toastmasters Club, and my name is Sri Ram Krishnapati, and I'm living in Hanover, Germany now. So I hope this meeting. I would like this meeting, and looking forward to join such more meetings in future. All the best to all the role players. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sri Ram, for joining in. Next, we have guest PV. Would you like to introduce yourself? I guess facing some network issues. Okay, so we are done with the guests. So let's move forward now. So with this, now I would like to introduce our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit, with his theme, The Backstory, with a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mahek. Let me share my screen and let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
All right, so the theme for today's meeting is the backstory. What do you think we'll cover in the backstory? Any guesses? Okay, let me start by asking you a question. How many of you have a liking for pearls? You know, pearls? All right, I see Mehak raising her hand. I can't see everyone together. I see Deepthi is raising her hand as well. Okay, but all right, so we have the girls who are really very fond of diamonds and pearls and all of those things, right? But do you know the process that goes behind in forming a pearl? Okay, let me take you to the next slide and tell you about oysters, how oysters end up producing pearls. So oysters make pearls, and oysters make pearls not because they know that the pearls will turn out to be so beautiful, but they do it because of a daily action for something that is actually irritating. So the process of forming of pearls is when an unwanted or different or irritating kind of external sand element enters inside the pearl, inside the oyster's body. And in order to take care of that irritation, oyster has a natural reaction towards that. And ultimately that creates what we now know as pearls. It's actually like a blister that we have in our body, right? It's definitely not a good thing. A blister is not a good thing. But eventually what we see coming out of this process is the beautiful, rare pearls. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that this daily action for something that causes us irritation can result in beautiful outcomes for all of us. I'll go to the next slide and talk about interactions, our daily interactions at workplace, in college, or even in our personal situations. We all want the best outcomes. We want a great deliverable. We want a great relationship. Right? In order to achieve that, though, what is required is those difficult and awkward conversations or interactions, which we sometimes actually avoid. So if we, in our interactions, embrace these difficult conversations, they will eventually lead us to a beautiful outcome like a pearl. Now, this session that I'm going to have today is going to be interactive. It's going to be requiring participation from all of you, and it's slightly different from the usual TMOD sessions. What I have coming up next is a scenario, and I would like some courageous people to come forward and volunteer for how they would handle this scenario. So let me ask for a volunteer first, and then I'll share what that scenario is. It's going to be a typical scenario, and I'm going to play the other person. You're going to be having a conversation with me. So can I have some show of hands of anybody who would like to come forward for the first scenario? All right, see, I see Mehak's hand. I want to see more hands. I see Ankan's hand. I want to see more hands. Come on. And I still reserve the right to volunteer if you don't volunteer. So that's a new thing that I've learned. Volunteer is when you volunteer on somebody else's behalf. So I see Hiva's hand go up. All right, that's good. A lot of courage coming up there. All right, I will let Hiba be the chosen one for this scenario. And let me share my screen again and take you to that scenario. I hope you can see the screen, Hiba.
Yes, I can see it.
And I hope everyone can see it. So it's not just Hiba who's to read this, it's for all of us to read. And then we will have Hiba to talk to this person called Suruchi, who will be played by myself. So I can actually read it out for you as well. Suruchi is your peer, Hiba, and she is a lead business analyst, and she's known for her insight and expertise. You put in a meeting in her diary tomorrow for a crucial meeting. You also send her a note emphasizing that her insights will be vital for this client proposal. She accepted the invitation, but said that she would miss the first 30 minutes. This isn't the first time she has either arrived late or left early, and there has never been an apology or explanation. You have set up a meeting with Suruchi to discuss this. Now I am stopping the share, and I just want to double check first. Hiba, is the scenario clear to you?
Yes, I only the word peer. What does peer means?
Peer means somebody who's in the same hierarchy as you. So you're not she's not reporting into you. Neither are you.
She's a colleague, like a colleague.
She's a colleague. Yeah, she's in the same
Yeah.
level of hierarchy. Both of you are colleagues at the same level. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. I hope that is fine. So I'll stop sharing and I'll play Suruchi now. And you will have a conversation with me. Obviously, the intent that you have is to see how you can get her to attend this meeting in full, and also share with her this concern that you've seen not only this time around, but even in the past. This will be a 2 to 3 minutes conversation. I would like to request timer Deepti to let us know once 3 minutes are over, and show the regular cards. Thank you. All right. Is it possible for us to highlight or spotlight Hiba and myself? Let me see if I can do that. Okay. All right. Somebody's done that. Oh, thank you. Can you spotlight me as well? Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Let's begin.
Good.
Hello, Suruchi. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Hiba.
I thought we were going to attend the meeting today together. I told you that we will be having a crucial meeting, and you accepted the invitation. So what's the matter?
Yeah, I have accepted the meeting invite, Hiba, which you sent just today for the tomorrow's meeting, and I have accepted the 30 minutes that I can attend.
So why is it always necessary to attend lately, to come late?
I do have my own other commitments to meet Hiba, so that's the best I can do. And besides, I am 100% sure that I will be able to give my inputs in the 30 minutes that I am attending. So I don't really see what's the challenge here.
Yes, but we already have a strict time, so coming late isn't good, not only for me, but also for you as a person, not being committed to the thing you have accepted.
I understand that you have my best interest in mind. However, I'm not sure if you are aware of my full situation, in which case you are making these sort of judgments about me. Like I said, I am very committed to my work, and I will prepare in such a manner that I will be able to contribute my best. And that's what I've done even in the past. You mentioned about coming like late or stuff, right? But I've always prepared very hard for the meetings so that I can make the most of the time that I actually end up attending.
Yes, but it's always so important to be. It shows respect to be there for the people who need you when they need you. I mean, in the right time, even if you say that the duration you stay is quite enough, but for people, maybe they need more. Maybe they would have asked a lot more questions or something.
Yeah, I do understand that, Hiba. And I think the other thing which I haven't mentioned is that for a 1 hour meeting, you should give me enough notice. You put in a meeting today for tomorrow and you expect me to join in full. In fact, I think I'm doing a favor by accepting and coming in for the half an hour that I am attending. I could have declined it. So I would really
But
appreciate if you give me enough notice.
I guess I have already sent you. Yeah, that's it.
You can summarize, Hiba, about how do we want to go next, maybe.
So I will be trying to send you notifications more 1 week before, maybe, if I could, so that you can arrange your schedule.
So thank you so much, Hiba. Yep. Okay, thanks. All right. Okay, let's have a round of applause for Hiba. Now, let me put this question back to the audience, and we can stop the spotlights. I would like to take 1 or 2 comments from the audience about how this conversation went, what went well, and how could this have been made even better. Any comment from anyone? What went well? Let's go with that first. All right, I see a couple of hands go up. I'll let Sriram go.
Yeah, so thank you. One of the things that went fine is she addressed the elephant in the room, the problem she addressed head on. That was important, yes. But what could have been done is both the persons could have found a middle ground and could have agreed upon something and how this could be. Instead of judging the other person, or instead of blaming the other person for the issue, it should have been done. The problem should be has been focused, and how this could have been avoided, or how this could be avoided in the future. That should be kept in the centerpiece, and that should be this is where the conversation should revolve around, what I think. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sriram. Yeah, that was very well captured. Like, I think Shiba was very direct in what the problem was and very clear about what she wanted as an outcome of this. But yeah, if the conversation was more around how or what can be done to resolve this, that would have been even better. Okay, great. But we'll do some more, like at least one more such scenario. But before we get into that, and I would like to once again relate it back with the theme that we have for today, which is the backstory. The backstory. If we want to have fantastic outcomes, we have to work to resolve these differences, or these or learn to have these difficult conversations, so that we can have the pearls as an outcome in our relationships, in our project deliveries. All right, we'll cover more on that. But before that, I would like to share the meeting flow with all of us, and especially with the guests who are attending Toastmasters meeting for the first time. So our meeting is going to be structured in such a manner that there are 3 elements or 3 parts to this meeting. The first part is called the prepared speeches section, where a person who's a Toastmaster comes forward and gives a speech based on the project speech objectives. The second segment or second part of the meeting is the table topics, which is where everybody's welcome to attend. Even guests are welcome to attend that. And we encourage the guests to participate in table topics. Table topics is impromptu speaking based on a topic which is given to you there and then. You have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes for the table topics. The third part of the meeting is the evaluation round. Evaluation or feedback is what helps us grow and become better communicators, better leaders. So evaluation round helps us understand what went well and what could have been done differently at an individual and at a team level. So those are the 3 segments that we have in our meeting. And I would now like to request our general evaluator to come forward and explain about how the evaluations would go. So I would like to invite our general evaluator, who is none other than Toastmaster Mehak, to come forward and share with us more about the evaluation.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am going to play the role of General Evaluator. And as my role today, for the effectiveness of the meeting, I will provide the feedback to the speakers, to the evaluators, to the auxiliary role players, as well as the role players. Well, so and I'm not going to do this alone. I have a team of auxiliary role players who will be going to support me. So first, I have the timer for the day. That is none other than Toastmaster Deepti. So I would request Toastmaster Deepti to come up on the stage and to provide, give the introduction about her role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. Well, I'm playing the role of a timer today. And as they say that conversations are always two-way. So we need to set time limits to how long does a person speak so that the other person also gets a chance. And that is what we are going to do in our meeting today. I'm going to be timing 3 kinds of speakers. The first one is the prepared speakers. We have 2 speeches today. One is an icebreaker, which will be for 4 to 6 minutes. And the second is a speech, which will be 5 to 7 minutes. The second thing that I'm going to time today is the table topic speakers. So every table topic speaker or an impromptu topic speaker will be allowed or will be requested to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And I'll be using my timing cards to record the time. The third kind of speaker I'll be timing is the evaluator of the speeches. So evaluators are going to speak for 2 to 3 minutes. I will share the detailed timing on the chat for everybody to note. However, the cards that I'm going to use are as follows. So I will share my screen and flash the cards while people are speaking. And I, in fact, gave a brief demo of it when Toastmaster Mohit and Toastmaster Hiba were playing their role. So this is a green card that I'll be showing when we're at a green light for the speakers. I'm going to move on to the yellow light or a yellow card and then a red card. And I'll continue to display my red card till the time the speaker stops speaking. Sorry, my Zoom crashed when I was trying to share the cards. So I'll quickly share the cards and stop speaking. So this is the green card that I'm going to share at 4 minutes for the prepared speaker, icebreaker, at 5 minutes for the regular speaker. Then I will move on to my yellow card. This is the yellow card and then the red card. I'll continue to display my red card till the end of the speech for all speakers. The detailed timings I'll share on the chat. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti, for the detailed explanation of your role. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Hiba, the grammarian for the day, to explain her role.
Hello again. My role as the grammarian today is to pay close attention to the uses of the English language, as well as to take note of any inspiring words or quotes that have been used during the meeting. My duty too is to introduce you to the word of the day. So as the word of the day today, we have inspiring. Inspiring. Inspiring means something that is causing you to feel great respect or admiration. Examples of this would be Niagara Falls really is an awe-inspiring sight. Her knowledge of computer is quite awe-inspiring. I encourage all of you here and us here to use the word of the day And in the end, I'll be giving my report. I also want you to help me in this role because I feel that I can't detect any any misuses. So please help me on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Riba, for such awe-inspiring word of the day. Next, I would like to give explanation of my role as an R counter. Well, as an R counter, I will take the count of the number of times the members and the guests have used or like, so, or any other crutch words that we tend to not to use in a speech, but it happens so. So we'll take a count on the number of crutch words used in the speeches. Well, moving forward, and as an active listener, I will tend to ask 2-3 questions towards the end of the meeting. Now, this was all the explanation of the auxiliary role players. Moving forward, we want one evaluator for Toastmaster Ankan, as Toastmaster Lokesh is not joining today. So if anyone would like to take up the role of the evaluator for Toastmaster Ankan, who is going to give an icebreaker speech today. You can please raise your hands if you are willing to take up the role of the evaluator. Okay, I see 3 people raising their hands. Okay, Hiba, would you like to take the role of the evaluator then?
With pleasure, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Hiba.
It's a nice breaker, right?
Yes, it's an icebreaker speech. I will send you the details through the chat box. Okay, so this was my role as the general evaluator. I will come forward again towards the end of the meeting, where I will present an effective report and feedback about the meeting as a whole. Now I would give the stage back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. Let's have a round of applause for Toastmaster Mehak and her team. All right, so we've got 2 speakers today, and just to double check, we've got Toastmaster Ankan and as the first speaker, and Toastmaster Hiba as his evaluator. And we have Toastmaster Raman as the second speaker. And the evaluator for him is Toastmaster Diptendu, is that correct? Okay, fantastic. All right. So without further ado, I would like to invite Toastmaster Diptendu to come forward and share with us the objectives of Toastmaster Toastmaster Raman's speech. We'll go with Raman's speech first. So I'm inviting Toastmaster Diptendu on the stage. And before I do that, let me introduce Toastmaster Diptendu. Toastmaster Diptendu is a musician by passion and has delivered many hit performances for corporate events and even virtual events. He's also worked with renowned filmmakers. He's an established public speaker and has emceed Toastmasters district level conferences. He has reached the top 3 in several Toastmasters contests and has also hosted events at the Kamani Auditorium and IHC. He clearly has a deep creative instinct, but he also works as a software engineer in telecom domain. He's built teams from ground up. He's mentored graduates and career pivoters, and he's built solutions in long haul optical transport domain and is currently working in data analytics and AI domain. I would like to invite Toastmaster Diptendu with a huge round of applause to share the objectives for Toastmaster.
Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, I have to apologize that my camera is not on today, but I am absolutely loving every minute of the meeting. Now it's time for me to share the evaluation objectives of Toastmaster Raman's speech. Today, Toastmaster Raman's speech and his project objectives are that he has to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during one of the club meetings. The purpose of this particular speech is for Raman to present a speech and receive feedback from an evaluator. And if you know that the speech can be of any type, it could be an informational speech, an entertaining or a motivational speech. It could be on any topic of the speaker's choice. But yes, the speech has to be well organized. Also, the mandate is that the speaker applies the feedback received in this speech in his subsequent speeches. So quite generic evaluation criteria for this particular speech for Toastmaster Raman. Wishing him the very best, and back to Mr. TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diptendu. Toastmaster Raman, as we now know, is into restaurant business and he's running Cloud Kitchen. He has extensive experience in running several ventures and he has joined Toastmasters 7 months back. Before I invite Toastmaster Raman on stage, I would like to request you, Raman, to share the title of your speech today.
Sensible drivers for swanky roads.
Sensible drivers for swanky roads.
Right.
Toastmaster Raman, sensible driving for swanky roads. Over to you.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and respected guests. Today's topic is very close to my heart because of the recent incident. My elder brother told me a few months back that I should leave everything and come to Max Hospitals in Patparganj. I sensed urgency in his voice and I took my car and whizzed my car through the busy street of Delhi. And I overlooked, in the hurriedness, I overlooked low fuel indicator and till I felt some jolts and my car stopped. Because I was in hurry, I reasoned that I could leave my car at the side of the road and pick it up later because it's gonna be towed away. I can pick it up later from the safe custody of traffic police. So I took cab, I reached hospital soon. While running towards the emergency gate, I had a lot of awful thoughts. At the gate, I met my anxious father who told me my niece has got into massive accident while riding on scooty and now and has suffered some terrible injuries. Next, I saw my niece lying in bed in pain and in dried up blood. I was devastated. She's a 14 years old kid who has never been on the bicycle, let alone ride on scooty. So next I met my brother who told me that she is going to be recovering fully after getting some stitches on her forehead and some adjustment on her collarbone. So after next 4 or 5 days were very frantic. And I had to go after a series of CT scans, X-rays, meeting with my relatives, visiting relatives, squabble with the security staff. When I had some free time, I wondered how single immature decision of my niece could have changed her life or her loved ones, and why people take risk and break rules, and how can we save life of pedestrians, road users, and passengers. So first of all Indian parents feel proud whenever they see their sons or daughter learn to drive, albeit without license or without any expert guidance. They wear it as a badge of honor and flaunt it to their friends and family. Though they also berate the system when they see innocent being mauled by some underage driver. However, it is their duty to be the role model for the future drivers to be responsible drivers. Secondly, it is easy to get driving license in India. I got my driving license in Singapore. I got my driving license without ever visiting a licensing authority or driving school. I got my second driving lessons when, while in Singapore. It took me 5 months of preparation and theoretical and practical test. So this is where I learned how to drive safely and unlearn my Indian driving habits. Sorry. Thirdly, we also don't disregard. We also don't pay. We have got a lenient attitude towards traffic violations. Many people prefer to pay 200 rupees bribe for breaking the rules than actually following them. Lack of enforcement of traffic rules also makes our roads less safe. But all is not bad news. Or there are measures which we can take to make our roads safer. Technology can also play a great role. We can use cameras to capture. Repeated offenders. Usage of GPS to control speed limits. Also, we can use automatic braking system and lane departure warning system to reduce the fatalities on road. In conclusion, reckless driving is a major problem which needs our urgent attention. We need to create a culture where reckless driving is not tolerated. Combination of educational, infrastructural, technological, and enforcement improvements will make our roads safer. Over the last 10 years, we have built new and swanky roads. It is time to have sensible drivers driving on it. Thank you.
Huge round of applause for Toastmaster Raman. A topic which must be talked about in context of Indian driving. I was reading the other day that India happens to be the country with some of the worst drivers. So a topic that definitely requires urgent attention. Thank you, Toastmaster Raman. Next, we got Toastmaster Ankan, who's going to give his icebreaker speech today. And, I would like to invite Toastmaster Hiba first to share the objectives for Ankan's speech. Toastmaster Hiba is a fellow Toastmaster from a different Toastmasters club, and she's a student currently. She's attending a meeting of Toastmasters in India for the first time, and we are privileged to have her in our club's meeting today. Welcome once again, Hiba, and I would like to pass it on to you to share the objective for Toastmaster Ankan's speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Ankan's speech today will be an icebreaker in his pathway dynamic leadership. For the icebreaker speech, Ankan will be talking a little bit about himself. He will be introducing something new to us, and we'll be seeing what to discover about him. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Ankan is a medical technologist, and he works as a perfusionist in cardiac surgery department of Fortis, Okhla. Reading and writing have been his hobby, but he does find it difficult to express himself through communication. He's using Toastmasters as a platform to enhance his communication skills. Before I invite you, Toastmaster Ankan, I would like to request you to share the title for your speech today.
Yeah, Students 11.
Students 11?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Ankan, Toastmaster Ankan, students 11.
Good evening, Toastmaster Mohit, Toastmaster Hiba, and fellow Toastmasters. Myself, Ankan Kumar, a medical technologist coming from small town Patna, currently working and residing in Delhi. Amongst various phases of my small life, I would like to share a small part of my college life. Being a very shy person, I have always found it difficult to make new friends. But one place where I could really open up and make new frenemies was cricket ground. So as I took admission in PGI Chandigarh and moved to a new place, new city, amongst new people, first thing which I did was to join a cricket team in my college. And just to put things in perspective, there were 16 teams competing in a tournament. So given these many number of teams, it wasn't difficult for me to find job of a water boy in one of them. And after carrying water bottles and kit bags of my seniors for nearly 4 months, I finally got my first breakthrough in a match. Breakthrough debuting as a substitute fielder. So it was clear to me that by the time I would become regular player of the team, I would have been graduated and left college already. I was sharing this experience of mine to one of my friend and batchmate when I realized that he is also going through similar situation in some other team. And we soon figured out that there are many leftovers like us scattered in almost every team. So carrying the zeal of rebellion, we all leftovers got together, we all got united and raised the banner of our own team, Students 11. We will make our own team and we will compete in the tournament. Students 11, why? Because we all were students back then. But to begin with, we had no gears and no place to practice either. We literally begged our seniors to give us any additional gears which they might have in their kit bags. And what we got was torn pad, torn gloves, broken bats, and oversized helmets. To practice, there were practice pitches, but they would be kept occupied by our seniors. So we started practicing at 4 in the morning. At evening, we would sneak into campus of Punjab University, where outsiders were not allowed to play. And we have literally played every day on the campus. At night, we would sit together for a group discussion where everybody will scrutinize everybody, just like how we do it here in Toastmasters. After months of practice, we finally enrolled ourselves in the tournament by paying their entrance fee. And day of our first match came. We all were really thrilled. We were very excited. I was very excited. And I clearly remember how mercilessly we were slaughtered by the opposite team. Second match, all out for 45. And just like that, we were kicked out like a football on the cricket ground. Another tournament happened, and we were thrown away like a baseball on the cricket ground. Another tournament happened, and we kept on rolling like a hockey ball on the cricket ground. It took us 4 tournaments to register our first win. And when it happened, we really knew that as much we shall enjoy tonight, as much we shall celebrate tonight, we also have to put in extra effort to make sure that this is not our last victory. Now, few things have also changed in between. Like we got one local sponsor on courtesy of whom we got some good quality gears. We also got some new players coming in from our junior years. So we were getting better with time. We were getting better in understanding the game. We were getting better in grasping the situation of the game, strategizing the game both before and during the match. And so as it happened, after a few tournaments, we qualified for the semi-final and we lost semi-final by 1 run. Couple of tournaments later, what we did was probably not have been thought by anybody. We became the champions. We were not undisputed champion. We kept on winning and losing thereafter. But what I remember from that phase is not how we lifted the trophy or what I did in what matches, but that we made a team from nothing, from people who were considered as nothing, and we made them a force to reckon with. As I was asked to give my icebreaker speech, I couldn't have thought better part of my life to introduce myself as a team player, where we come from different background, different culture, different opinions, different thoughts, different skill sets, different ideas, yet we converge all our differences for a common cause. And it's awe-inspiring to achieve that cause. From Toastmasters, I seek to imbibe some new skills like expression through words, expression through storytelling, and put them to use in my both personal and professional life. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Toastmaster Uncle. I would request everyone to unmute themselves and express how they felt about the speech. For me personally, this speech has given me goosebumps and very well articulated. Not, I think it's completely awe-inspiring when we see people like Ankan in their icebreaker speech doing so well. So once again, a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Ankan.
Yeah, I think the word of the day today is only for Uncle.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that's how we'll do to you, not clap. Beautifully delivered. It just didn't seem that this was an icebreaker for you. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Right. And on that note, I would request audiences, everyone who's present in the meeting today, that you have a role to play here. We've just seen two beautiful speeches, one by Toastmaster Raman and the other by Toastmaster Ankan. And you can give them some gold. How can you do that? Is by spending the next 1 minute in sharing your feedback with them one-to-one or on the group chat. Please do so. Think about what are the 1 or 2 things that you really liked about those speeches and 1 or 2 things that you would suggest for the speakers to do differently. I would request timer to give 2 minutes for this, and then we will proceed with the session. And this is for everyone or everyone who's present in the meeting, be it your guests or be it you are Toastmasters already. Do share your inputs with the speakers. What are the 1 or 2 things that you loved? What are the 1 or 2 things that you can suggest? Do share that feedback with the speakers. Raman, have you received some? Once you receive some feedback, just let me know, because we are not moving forward before we get everyone's feedback.
I don't know why I'm not able to send a direct message to rather Raman or Ankan.
Yeah,
I
so,
can.
I know. I think it's because of only co-host and host has right to share direct messages with everybody else. So maybe you can post your feedback or your thoughts on the chat window. Is that okay, Toastmaster Mehek and Mohit?
Yep.
Yeah, just go ahead and post it.
Okay, so for Ankan, I will be letting it be in my evaluation. They'll be posting for Raman.
Sure. Yep, that's fine. Okay.
I've received a few feedback already.
Okay, great. Thank you for confirming that, Raman.
Thank you.
And we would proceed forward with that. Okay, you have the timer saying the time is up. So, all right, so we'll take it forward. I would once again take us back to the theme for today, which is backstory. And I have with us another scenario for which I would like to request one more volunteer to come forward for a conversation with me. Anybody would like to go forward to play that part? Please raise your hand, either virtual hand or, all right, I see Sriram coming forward. Thank you, Sriram. Let me share my screen again, and I'll also read out this scenario for everyone's review. So Samit, this is Samit is a person who's your direct report. Sriram, he reports into you. So Samit is avoiding eye contact during daily meetings. You see him disengaged, not participative, and there's hardly any contribution from him. Things were okay until some time back when we were working remotely. And now you are concerned, so you've set up a meeting with Samit to discuss this with him. Is the scenario clear to you?
The scenario, yes, they're quite clear to me, yes.
Okay, and I would once again request everyone to read the scenario, and we'll gather some thoughts after this discussion has happened. This is also 2 to 3 minutes conversation, and I would request timer to play her part, and we will start now. Appreciate if we can be put in a spotlight mode.
Yeah, so Mohit, you'll be playing the part of Sumit, right?
I'll be playing Samit, yes.
Okay, so shall we start? Yeah, hey Samit, how are you doing? I really appreciate your contributions last quarter. It was phenomenal. In fact, you were in the top 5% of our team who contributed so much. It was very great coming from you. We had great results, and in many areas we saw many contributions from you. So, but as you know, everything is okay with you. So since we have come to office and we are having face-to-face meetings last few times, I see that you are not very engaged with the team as you were used to last few times. So everything is going fine. Like, is there any problem that I can help with? It's okay if you don't want to discuss. If it is really personal and you want to discuss, you do not want to discuss anything with those things with me. But please let me know if I can help anything about anything.
Thanks, Sriram. No, nothing like that. Actually, I think last 1 or 2 meetings, something was going on, but there is nothing like that. I think things are all fine, Sriram.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Also, well, just so you know, as a friend, if we leave about this hierarchy even outside of work, you can always trust me. And if you have something to speak about, or if you want someone to listen, if you want an ear to hear about your problems, I'm there. You do not have to think that, okay, he's my boss or something. We can be friends and outside of work, and we can do that. So just let me know if even in a personal way, if I can help something out. Yeah. And yes, I do agree. Well, we have our days when we are not as charismatic as we are usually. So that's fine. But I hope you get back to the speed again, and do the charisma you did before. Yeah.
Thank you, Sriram, for appreciating about my work. I'm actually always trying to do my best in the work, and I only thing like I'm concerned about is since you put this meeting right, and I am not quite sure like how like what you are taking from the last few meetings. Like I'm a little afraid, like I'm feeling afraid that we are setting up a formal meeting for something like this.
Not really. So why I set up a formal meeting is, it is more of like to set up a separate time out for this instead of a regular work, so that I won't run into you when you are doing some productive work and I won't disturb you. So this meeting, I set up this calendar invitation for this part. It is nothing like I'm giving you some sort of warning or anything like that. I just wanted to have a healthy discussion with you. If anything is bothering you or anything is decreasing your productivity, that's what it is. Nothing, you do not have to worry about that. Okay, this is some sort of this is totally informal discussion. Just I set up the meeting to get some time from you. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
don't worry about it. And as I said, I'm always open. So you can ping me anytime and you can come to my desk and we can have a chat about anything. And even outside of work, if you need something, do tell me. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Sriram.
let me know if like in organization wise, if we can do something about this. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sriram. Thank you. I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
all
Let's
right.
have one more huge round of applause for Toastmaster Sriram. And I would now like to request our audiences to share what they felt about this conversation. What do you think went well? And what do you think could have made it even better? Anyone from the audience can just raise their hand and share your comments. If you were, let's say, a little parrot sitting on our friend Sriram's shoulder while he was doing that conversation, what were the few things that you would whisper in his ears? Anyone? Can I check with you, Jwala, if you would like to share something, your thoughts?
Yes, sir. Good evening. This is my first time when I am attending any Toastmaster club, and I felt that it was a very good conversation. And Sriram ji has delivered very good words to you, and everything was very much clear.
Anything you think could make it even better?
Sir, nothing, sir, because it is my first time, so I can't be evaluator. So I felt it was good.
Sure, sure.
I would appreciate if audience give me some feedbacks to improve because or some negative things that can be improved. I will appreciate really.
If you'd like one more comment, anyone? I think Raman wants to say something. Please go ahead, Raman.
Basically, Sriram has started his discussion with Samit in a very constructive way, that you have done really good 6 months back, 8 months back, and try to contrast also right now what is he is not doing. But it could have been more, maybe two-way communication, getting more from the Mohit or Samit to come back to you, that is he really having some problems, or is it some problem in the family? You could have probed a bit more, maybe try to get his point of view. This is what I thought. But otherwise, it went really well. And it's always difficult to get somebody subordinate to open with you. Yeah, so it's not that easy to get. Possibly Samit might be looking for another job or whatever. So
yeah, probably.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for
That's
sharing
why
that.
I set up the context, and then I tried to be a bit more friendly so that he doesn't think it's formal. Yeah, but you are right. It is difficult to do that way. Yeah.
I think, all right, great. Thank you for sharing that feedback, Raman. So what Raman's point of view is that even though the conversation was more helpful and you were trying to gather from Samit, but some more probing, some more trying to hear out from Samit, his point of view would have possibly made it even better. Thank you. All right, great. So we will talk a little bit more about this after we come back from the table topics session. And I would now like to invite our table topics master, who is Toastmaster Deepthi, to come forward and take up the table topics session for us. Before I invite Deepthi, I would like to introduce her. She is a technical writer and she's a Toastmaster, as we already know. She's a mom to young kids. She looks forward to a journey of self-discovery and self-change through Toastmasters. Let's welcome Toastmaster Deepthi with a round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit, for that lovely introduction. All right, now this is the fun part of a meeting. So the table topic section is a section where I, as the table topic master, will be giving out random topics. Everybody, including the guests, are welcome to volunteer and participate. So there will be topics that you don't know. I'll give them to you, and you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds as the upper limit. Since I'm also the timer today, I will be showing the timing cards. The timing cards will be as follows. I will paste them on the chat. And while I do that, I would like to say or share that the table topics section basically helps you hone your impromptu speaking skills. So when you fear starting conversations, or when you're sitting in an interview, or you're participating in a group discussion, or generally having a chit chat with friends or with colleagues, it's this section that will, at the back of your mind, help you be involved and stay involved. So do participate and open your hesitation in this section. And with that, I'd like to invite our first volunteer. And in case I don't get volunteers, I will use the voluntel approach. All right, I have Nishant raising his hand. Sure, Nishant, let's begin with you. I'll spotlight you. Now, since we're talking about backstories today, which means about the stories behind somebody else. So charity begins at home. Let's start knowing ourselves a little. So I'll give you a simple question. Okay, you have to speak or you have to give an answer to that question. And remember, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes, with 2 minutes, 30 seconds being the upper limit. Okay. So Nishant, the topic for you is, what is a superpower you wish you had? What is a superpower you wish you had?
Okay. Okay. Give me maybe 10 seconds to think.
Yes, you can take 30. That's fine. I'll let you know when 30 seconds are up.
Okay. I am ready.
Please begin.
So I have to tell what superpower I want to have and also why I want to have, what will I do, or I just want to, I just have to tell that superpower.
No, no.
I mean, I have to craft story in and around that
Yes,
thing, isn't it?
yes, yes. And you have to speak for at least 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes, 30 seconds to speak what you feel like.
Okay. So maybe if I get a chance to have some superpower, I would like to have a superpower to hypnotize anybody. And maybe so everybody thinks whatever he thinks is correct. So I also think what I think is correct in like in my opinion. So I would like to rectify things people doing wrong. Probably like somebody shared the story. Like somebody was sharing the incident rather of that accident happened. Probably I will hypnotize young people and I'll implant in their mind that you should drive bike, you should ride bike or drive car very safely, very carefully, and maybe I'll implant in the mind of the cops that you have to not to take the bribes, you have to be respectful to your job, and maybe I will implant things in the prime minister or president of Russia to not to fight with Ukraine, or maybe I'll implant in the mind of the president of Russia to not to fight again with other nations. So probably if I get a chance, so I'll if I have this superpower, I would like to have the superpower of uh, hypnotizing people and implanting ideas which are good for the humanity. I think that's it. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Nishant, for speaking on a superpower and giving us a different perspective. This is the first time I've heard somebody wanting hypnotization as a superpower. Usually it's getting invisible or, being strong and powerful or having flying skills. So great take on the topic. Thank you. Right. So it's 4:48. We have time for two more topics. So any volunteers? Okay, Sriram, we have your hand up. All right. Let me first give a chance to maybe Diptendu, would you want to pick it up? Sriram, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Sure. Diptendu, you there? Okay, then let's go with Sriram. All right. So Sriram, the topic for you is what advice I'd give to my 18-year-old self. What advice will I give to my 18-year-old self?
Thank you for the topic, Toastmasters Dipti. First, let me hold on to this thought a bit. Well, when I was 18, yes, I did a lot of things, they were right. But yes, I also put a lot of, I tried to understand the world. I was, at 18, usually we get a lot of exposure. Our parents start thinking that, okay, we have grown up, and they give a bit more freedom, and we go to university. So usually we leave our homes. We get a lot of freedom. So in that newfound freedom, many people try different things. So I explored a lot of things. Yeah, I tried to understand how everything worked. I did a lot of things right, but towards a lot of things, usually I was more academic oriented, and I was more. I tried to explore. So I did mechanical engineering, and I tried to explore a lot more about my field, how everything worked. Well, those things are right, but at the same time, I gave very little importance to communication. Although I think I had good communication for day-to-day work, I was good in that, but conflict resolution, things like so what I've understood in my career as of now is that communication plays plays a huge role in our success to get any work done. Even if in your team you have very talented people, the best of people in the field, still to get the work done, we need very clear, very concise communication, the skills to navigate through issues, the skills to. So these parts I did not give much importance when I was 18. So I think if I had given a bit more importance then to these things as well, in really also in on top of also I could relation like personal relation, like friends and all, I gave less importance when I was 18. So I think those things would have been nice if I gave them a bit more importance those time. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sriram, for your perspective and your advice to your 18-year-old self. Yes, I think, and that is advice to a lot of us others also, because I believe a lot of times we feel that communication is only about standing in front of a mic and speaking. Well, communication is much more than that. It is about conflict resolution, just speaking, understanding different personalities and getting work done. So kudos to you. And that's sound advice. Thank you. Hi, Anusha, I see your raised hand, but I'd like to, because we have paucity of time today, I'd like to invite either a guest who's not
Sure.
participated or,
Yeah,
give
yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. So, Jwala, would you like to pick up one topic?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Sure. I'll spotlight you.
Okay.
Are you a Toastmaster, or is this the first time that you're attending a Toastmasters meeting?
This is my first meeting, ma'am.
Okay,
I never heard about it.
no problem. So I will give you a topic which is a little easier to speak on.
Okay.
Okay. So are you internet savvy? Do you use online apps like Amazon or
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
I
you
do.
do? You do? Okay, great. So Jwala, your topic is, what was the last thing that you ordered online? What was the last thing that you ordered online? So you can share with us what you ordered and how is it, why did you order that? How did you choose? And then maybe, is it useful or is it as per your expectations? So that way you can frame your impromptu speech.
Okay, okay, Toastmaster Diti, thanks for giving me opportunity to speak here. Last thing what I ordered from any app, it was a Samsung Mobile S30 model. It was through Flipkart, I suppose, because I have compared on Amazon and Flipkart. It was a sale during Diwali festival, and on Flipkart I find that rates are quite cheap comparing to Amazon. So I ordered it through Flipkart, and it was delivered within time limit. And after delivery also, I compared, the rate was very much less in Flipkart. So it was nice experience to shopping with Flipkart. And the mobile is working very much fine right now. So I am happy with that shopping. And also after that shopping, if I need anything, so I give preference to Flipkart. And as well as I try to compare the things on other apps also. So that's all from my side now.
Continue. Speak till the time I show at least the green card.
Okay, so right now the mobile is working fine, but as people are having Apple mobile, so I think with my next budget, I will go with Apple i14. So in April month, I am trying to purchase it. So some companies are showing interest to sell these, Apple mobile directly, and on apps also there are some kind of you can say offers. But I would like to go on the offer part if I find it convenient and cheap compared to other direct sales. So if Apple give me a good discount, then I may think that I can buy it in March month itself also. So this will be a great opportunity if in Holi festival also, if I find a sale like I got it on Diwali festival. So such kind of thing, if I find on internet, then I will definitely go to purchase this book.
Thank you so much, Jwala, for that lovely insight. And thanks for sharing your shopping journey with us. Well, next time you order something from Flipkart, we'll know it why, because you've had a good experience in the past. So thank you. So these three topics were basically helping each of us get into an introspective mode. We were trying to just understand how or why we did what we did. And I'm sure each of us were also recounting our own experiences when these guys were speaking. So thank you. And with that, I hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. A huge round of applause for Toastmaster Deepti for this good choice of topics for the audience. Now, let me share with you my screen and walk you through the discussion that we were having. So we talked about two scenarios today, scenario of Suruchi and that of Samit. My question to you is, if you knew the backstories, if you knew what was going on in their lives, would you have structured your conversations differently? Right? So let me share with you the backstory. One by one, I will be playing Suruchi and Samit, and I will be sharing with you in a monologue format their real backstory. So let me start with the, I see my sister. Can you still hear me? Can anybody confirm?
Yeah, we can still hear you. Yes.
Okay, so let me act like Suruchi, and this is my backstory. I'm a carer with a career. When my son was first diagnosed, I knew that I didn't want to be classified as a parent of a child with special needs. I can't leave working because I need that mental stimulation. Today, I entered some time out in my calendar to take my son for a medical appointment. And at that time, somebody booked a meeting. Nobody can ever focus on a good job if we are worried about our family. We talk about flexi working, we talk about work-life balance, but it just seems to be there on paper. That's the story of Suruchi. Now, let me take us to the story of Samit. Samit, my background bites me. I joined this company during the lockdown. Things were going fine when conversations were happening over phone or Zoom call. I just let my work speak for me. In personal conversations, I find it very hard. I know I can speak and communicate all right, but I don't come from a rich background. I studied in government school and I studied in Hindi medium. This constantly plays on my mind during my work interactions. I still remember when somebody laughed at me when I mispronounced a simple word. I had called glass gilas. I lack the confidence and I blank out. I'm not able to process information being shared in meetings. Now, having known those backstories, would you frame your conversations or your interactions with Suruchi and Samit any differently? I would leave that as a question for you to ponder upon. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it is absolutely critical for us to know what's going on in the lives of people who we work with. And that's not because we are professionals and all of these things don't matter, but because we are human beings and work is played by human beings. And if they are not well, if they have a family situation, if they are different, then they are feeling awkward about it, then they will not be able to contribute their best. Okay, we'll have some more about this coming after the evaluation segment, but I would like to invite our general evaluator now, Toastmaster Mehak, for the evaluations round. Over to you, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, for sharing such beautiful stories. Now I would like to start over with the evaluation session. So first I would like to invite on stage Toastmaster Diptendu to please provide the evaluation for speaker number 1, Toastmaster Aman.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Seldom does it happen that a speech starts even before the speaker has started speaking. And today was such an example. Sensible driving for swanky roads. As soon as the title was spoken by the Toastmaster of the day, I knew that it would be somewhere around how to build a safer environment on roads by driving sensibly. And then the speech started, the speaker started speaking. The first few seconds of the speech, the first couple of minutes of the speech, a very solid foundation was laid for the speech, wherein the speaker narrated a personal incident. He got a distress call from a hospital. One of his relatives was badly injured in a road accident. Now, in the first couple of minutes, with the good title and the strong context setting of a personal example, I was completely with the speaker. And I was ready to listen to any knowledge that the speaker wanted to share there on out. So full marks to the speaker for the title and for a very strong opening of the speech. And then the structure of the speech was also simple to understand, simple to follow. He first talked about things which are not good with our system. For example, it is very easy to get driver's license in India, while it is difficult to get one in Singapore. The other one being the attitude of parents and population in general. We flaunt it as a badge of honor when underage children are driving vehicles on the roads. He's talked about some social issues, some systemic issues, basically encapsulating the problems which lead to dangerous driving conditions. Up until now, I was thoroughly enjoying the speech. And the next logical step was to tell something which is actually good about our system and about our value systems. He started speaking about that, but somewhere I think lost the way. And I think the reason for the lack of fluency during the later half of the speech was the fumbles that were happening throughout the speech. So here comes my recommendation. My recommendation is that while practicing a speech for a working professional, for a busy person, it is difficult to learn the speech by heart. We are at a lack of time. So there are two approaches. We can divide our speech into bullet points, learn those bullet points, and just leave everything else to our on-stage performance and stitch those points together. That could be one tactic you could apply. Second tactic would be use your native language, say Hindi, a combination of Hindi English, a combination of Punjabi English, whatever, and just narrate your speech or speak your speech in a mixture of native language plus English language so that you are comfortable with the entire speech. And then when you come on stage, you narrate the complete thing in English as best you can. So all in all, the speech had a great title, a great beginning, a very clear structure. The intention of the speech was clear, and the message was received by me as the audience. If only the speaker could work upon ironing out those chinks with respect to fluency, he would be able to hit any message home every time he takes the stage to speak. With that, I hand back to Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Diptendu, for such detailed and clear insight about the speech of Toastmaster Aman. Now, I would like to invite on stage Toastmaster Hiba to please give the feedback and the evaluation for Toastmaster Ankan's speech.
Ankan, what a now inspiring speech. I was so captivated at first by your title, Student 11. I was like, what is this? What's this about? It triggered my curiosity and I was waiting for what's coming next. Then you started your speech and you just shared with us a beautiful story with a beautiful moral in the end. And it's just so well structured, so captivating. We were all looking at you. We were all inside the story with you. And you had such a beautiful humor sense that you made us all laugh at a certain point. It was so great. I also note that you changed your pitch, the pitch of your sound sometimes, and you used the Students 11 in your body language, and you love that. If I have something to add or a feedback for you, it would be to try for the next time to not cross your hands while speaking. I know it may be the most comfortable position you feel like you want to be in, but actually it would be nicer if you let your hands open and you use them more. Also, maybe if you want to captivate us more and more, using different different volumes, like whispering sometimes, and then screaming maybe sometimes, or changing the speed of your speech. It would be so more captivating for your audience. Overall, Ankan, your speech was so good. I enjoyed every minute of it. I know your purpose was to share with us something new about you, and I'm pretty sure all of us here enjoyed knowing the team member part of you. So congratulations on your first speech. That was an amazing one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba, for such a wonderful evaluation for Toastmaster Ankan's speech. Now, moving forward, I would request the auxiliary role players to share their reports, starting with, first, I would like to invite our timer for the day, Toastmaster Deepti, to share her report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehek. First of all, an applaud. We have everybody qualifying. There are no disqualifications based on time. If I have to read out the time limits, then let me first read out the ones for the prepared speakers. I will also paste them on chat. So we had two prepared speakers today, Toastmaster Raman and Toastmaster Ankan. Toastmaster Raman spoke for 6 minutes, almost 6 minutes, a little over. Toastmaster Ankan for 5 minutes and 1 second. Moving on to our table topic speakers. The timings are as follows. Nishant, his topic was If I Had a Superpower. He spoke for 1 minute and 31 seconds. Shriram, Toastmaster Shriram spoke about the advice I would like to give to 18-year-old self. It was 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Jwala spoke about last thing I shopped online, and it was for 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And our evaluators, Toastmaster Diptendu spoke for 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and Toastmaster Hiba for 2 minutes and 43 seconds. With that, I hand over the stage back to you, Toastmaster Mehek.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti, for sharing such an effective report for Timer's report. Now, I would like to invite on stage Toastmaster Hiba to provide the report as a grammarian.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. So for the misuses of the language, I have noted few of them. Like I heard the reason that, I think it's the reason why. I have heard how single thing, it's how a single thing. I heard tell me if I can help about something. I think it's tell me if I can help you with something. For the beautiful words or stories or quotes, I love the story Mr. Mohit is sharing with us throughout all the meeting. It's such a beautiful one. I liked also the moral Anak said in the end of his speech, where he talked how they all have different skin colors coming from different cultures and backgrounds. But he said, we converged all our differences for a common purpose. it's so inspiring. So congratulations on that. For the word of the day, it wasn't used quite a lot, but we had Mehak using it one time. Ankan using it one time during his prepared speech. Congratulations on that. We know it's not so easy to do. We have Mohit using it one time and myself one time. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Reba, for sharing beautiful insights from the meeting today. Well, now I would like to share my report as the R counter for the day. So for this, I'm going to share my screen. So today in the meeting, Toastmaster Mohit was flawless. So kudos to Toastmaster Mohit. Toastmaster Deepti didn't have any ahs and gums in her speech, while she had twice or thrice used the word liking so, and twice the word you know. Toastmaster Raman had more than 5 times ahs and gums, while he used 4 to 5 times liking so and you know twice. Toastmaster Ankan, kudos to you. You were flawless. You didn't have any ahs and gums in your speech, while you had 2 like and so, and you didn't use any you knows in the speech too. So kudos to you. Toastmaster Nishant had more than 5 ahs and gums, while 3 like and so, and more than 5 you knows in the table topics. While Toastmaster Sriram used twice ahs and gums, and liking so twice, and 3 to 4 times you know. Toastmaster Jwala used 4 to 5 times ahs and gums, 3 to 4 times liking so, and twice you know. Toastmaster Hiba, twice or thrice she used ahs and gums, while she didn't use like and so any time, and twice or thrice she used the word you know. Toastmaster Diptendu was flawless. Well, Toastmaster Raman in his speech had long pauses. So to not have the long pauses in the speech, the best measure is to when you're not able to recover something or you're not able to remember the speech, give a little short pause and then try to clear up or move ahead with the story or the message that you are trying to give or deliver. That's a better measure, to give a short pause wherever you felt that you are not able to use the word, maybe you are using a or give it a short pause. That is the best measure to start a speech. Well, with this now, as an active listener, I have 2 questions. The first one being, so who knows the answer for the question? You can give a raise of a hand, and then I will choose the person who will give the answer. So the first question is, what was the first thing Toastmaster Ankan did in his college? What was the first thing Toastmaster Ankan did in his college? Anyone who would like to answer, please show your hands. Okay, Toastmaster Deepti. Yes.
Enrolled in a cricket team.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Last question is, what superpower Toastmaster Nishant wants to have? What superpower Toastmaster Nishant wants to have? Okay, I see many raise of hands. Okay, yeah. Guess Jwala, would you like to answer?
Ma'am, he mentioned to be hypnotized power.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Yes, you're absolutely correct. So I have these 2 questions only. Now moving ahead with the general evaluation report. So starting with the meeting started at around 3:35. We were quite in time. This time we had the role players ready, but I would like to give a round of an applause for Toastmaster Hiba, who took the role of an evaluator as well as the role of a grammarian at the 11th hour. So round of an applause for you. And moving on, so Toastmaster Mohit, he's starting on the meeting as the sergeant at arms with a fire. With his beautiful smile, he captured the attention of the audience, starting beautiful story. He shared a personal story about himself. That was a very good approach to capture the attention of the audience. So kudos to you. Well, moving ahead with the introduction of the guests were introduced. Moving ahead to the Toastmaster of the day, again, Toastmaster Mohit, he started with the beautiful activity that was that he created a scenario and how the audience were able to give the answers and how he involved the audience in a session. So that was a very great approach used in the teamwork session. Well, moving ahead, in the table topic session, I think the table topics were absolutely great. They were related to the theme and they were on point. Guests were involved in the making. So that was a very brilliant approach. And coming to the evaluators, I think both of the evaluators gave justice to their role. They followed the CRC approach, that is the commendation, recommendation, and commendation approach, and they were well within time. They shared an effective feedback about the speakers. So kudos to both of you. Moving on to the timer, the grammarian. The timer's report was effective. It delivered all the points. The timer cards was shown at the welling time. And grammarian's report, you were absolutely great, while you also took the word of the day as awe-inspiring, which was an absolute great thing. Moving on to the our counter's role and the role of the active listener, I think they were also being done in the meeting today. So now to the feedback or the things that we could have improved upon. We could have the roles that were being pointed or given initially. I think they could have been selected beforehand so that we could not have the problems in the meeting today itself. But no worries, we had a great meeting today. I think the second feedback I would like to give to shorten the time to have an agenda regarding the time as well, so that we are not overshown with the time, because I guess we will be today. It's already 5:18, so we have 5:30 as we have to switch off with the meeting or end with the meeting. So we might need to prepare a full-fledged agenda so that everything is packed in that session. This was my feedback. And now I would like to present and hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehek. Let's have a huge round of applause for a successful meeting. Before I proceed further, I would like to request Toastmaster Deepthi to share the polls for today's role player.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit. So for existing Toastmasters, we always do a poll for identifying winners in different roles. And for guests, please note that you feel free to participate in the polls. Okay, I will launch the polls using Zoom. So the first poll that will launch will be for the best speaker. You will see 2 blanks or 2 option buttons. I will paste the options on the chat. First, let me launch the poll. Here's the poll. And the option. So if you feel that speaker 1 is your winner for today, then select the first radio button. If you want to vote for speaker 2, then choose the second radio button. There are no names on the poll, they are generic. So please vote. For participants who have host or co-host rights, please directly send me your votes. Okay, I end the poll in 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I will now launch the poll for the best evaluator. So you need to select the options the same way. Here are the options. And I now launch the poll for the best evaluator. Right, so evaluator 1, choose the first radio button. Evaluator 2, choose the second radio button. And I end the poll. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I will next launch the poll for the best table topic speakers. We had 3. Here are the 3 names, and now I launch the poll. Table topic speaker, launch. Here they are. So you can ignore speaker 4, 5, 6. We usually have more time in hand, and that is when we pick up more topics. So for now, consider speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3. And I will end the poll with a 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Let me make a quick note of it. I next move on to the auxiliary or the supporting role players. There were 3, the timer, the grammarian, and the counter. The poll for the best auxiliary or supporting role player is now launched. Active listener, I missed mention. Okay, let me mention it. Active listener was Mehak with her 2 questions, testing our listening skills. Usually we have more questions. Paucity of time. Okay, I will now end the poll with a 3, 2, 1. My next and last poll is for the best role player. Best role player means TMOD, GE, and TTM. TMOD, here are the names, and here comes the poll launched. Okay. I end the poll. In a 3, 2, 1. And I invite Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Mohit, back on stage while I send the results to our president through WhatsApp.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepthi. Now you all agree that we should know the backstories to be able to create pearls as outcomes. But the next obvious question that is on your minds is, how do we do that? What's the best way to do that? I'll propose to you 3 steps that you can start taking now in order for you to know the backstories of people who you work with or who you are related with. The first one is be vulnerable yourself. If you open up and start sharing what are the things that concern you or what is your own life situation and how you are dealing with that, that gives the message to the other person that it's okay to share such things. It's okay to be vulnerable and I will not be judged. It creates an environment which is safe environment to share the innermost and the true feelings for us. The second way I would suggest is open questions, right? I'm sure you understand the difference between closed-ended questions and open-ended questions. Closed-ended questions are like, what's causing you to not join the meeting? Like, it's a straight like answer, I could say personal situation, right? Or it is that, or an open question could, or a closed question could be, why don't you, or what can I do to, can I do anything to make it better for you? Right? That's also a closed question because the answer could be just a yes or a no. I would invite you to think of open-ended questions, which will help the other person be more comfortable in sharing the information. For example, you could use a question like, how might I help you to share with me your personal concerns? That kind of a question will be one that will make it very difficult for the other person to not reply. And that reply could be in the form of a body language or a pause or even words that you can interpret. The third and the final tip that I would like to share is to use tentative language. Don't avoid using language like, I would like you to share with me what is causing this, right? Instead of that, you could say, I'm sensing that there is something that's going wrong with you. Would you be willing to share it with me? That's an open question, and that's a soft and tentative kind of construct, which will make it easier for the other person to come forward. I would like to end my session by sharing this quote by Stephen Covey, which says that we judge ourselves by our intentions and others by their actions. So it's time that we think or know the backstory so that we are not that judgmental. That's all I have to share today. I would like to hand over the session back to the president. Let's welcome Toastmaster Mehek with an applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, for such an engaging session and for sharing such beautiful insight on the topic, my backstory. We totally loved it and it was totally awe-inspiring. Well, now moving forward, I have the results with me today. So moving forward with the results, but before going ahead, I would want the feedback, first the feedback from the guest. So I would first request Toastmaster Hiba to come on stage and to give a feedback about the meeting.
Thank you for giving me the stage again. I really enjoyed every little second of the meeting. It was so inspiring and I learned something new. I feel like those 2 hours were just so enriching for me. So thank you for the experience. Your club is just amazing. Please continue.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hiba, for such a positive feedback for our club. And we really hope that you will join us next Sunday as well at the same time. Next, I would like to invite.
I'll be glad to. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Raman to please give a feedback about the meeting.
It was a really good meeting, and I really learned a lot from all of you. And basically, one more thing I learned in Zoom meetings, because what happens when you attend a face-to-face meeting, you don't have to turn on the AC. So when you're attending a meeting through Zoom, you should turn on the AC before giving a speech. This is my learning today. Yeah, so I was sweating a lot, but anyway, it was a great meeting. I loved it. And I'll be joining mostly few meetings later on also to give my speeches, yeah, whenever I do have time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raman. Absolutely can keep us joining us. Now, I would next like to invite guest Sriram to please come on stage and give a feedback about the meeting.
Thank you. It was a wonderful meeting today. Especially, I would like to mention the scenarios. That was a good thing. That was a real world scenarios. It is not like you learn something which you wouldn't be able to apply. That was something transferable. So that was good. Also, the table topics were on point. They were quite interesting. So many good things here. So, but one of the things I would like to suggest, if that's allowed. So the timer cards, yes, the timer cards, I feel those are not. So what happened is I saw the picture was set, and after that, I don't know who was the timer really, but and he or she was closing stopping the screen sharing and then showing another. So in a better way, like we can either make a PowerPoint slides. There are 2 ways to go through it. I like the PowerPoint one, or there is even a better one, that is this I have shared the link, Timer Caleb. So if you do that, the screens will change automatically. You just have which part of the everything is there in the website. You just select and the cards will change automatically and it will record the time as well. So that is also good. Otherwise, Toastmaster, another official Toastmaster way, another is you change the virtual background, but I do not prefer that. But that is also one of the way which Toastmaster suggest to do in a Zoom meeting. So these would be good. Yeah. So that's all from my side. It was a wonderful meeting overall. Thank you. I would like to join more meetings in future.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sriram. We appreciate your feedback and we really hope that we'll apply this time cards in the future meetings. So thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite on stage guest Jwala to please give a feedback about the meeting and how you got to know about Toastmasters Club of Storytellers.
Madam, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Actually, already time is up, so I will take just 30 seconds. Actually, I learned a lot from this Toastmaster Club, and it was interactive one. Everybody was frank while giving his speech, giving his words, and listeners are also doing very much good. So I would like to be connected with this group in future also. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guest Jwala. We hope that you will join us in the next meeting as well. Next, I would like to invite guest Nishant to please give a feedback about the meeting.
Yeah, so it was a wonderful meeting. As I mean, it is my third meeting I am attending, and it is one of the best clubs. I have attended. I mean, two more clubs before. I mean, like before COVID thing or lockdown thing, and this is really inspiring. And the name, idea, everything is really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your positive feedback, Nishant. Now, with this, I would like to announce the winners for the meeting today. So, starting with the best speaker. So, any guesses about the best speaker? Any guesses about the best speaker?
Ankan.
Well, you all
Ankan.
are absolutely correct. It is Toastmaster Ankan. So, a round of an applause for Toastmaster Ankan. Congratulations, Ankan. Next, for the best evaluator, there were two evaluators, Toastmaster Diptendu and Toastmaster Hiba. So, any guesses for the best evaluator?
Dipendu.
Yes, it is Toastmaster Diptendu. A round of an applause for Toastmaster Diptendu.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Next, for the best role player, there were three role players, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Mohit, Cable Topic Master, Toastmaster Deepti, and General Evaluator, Toastmaster Mehek. So any guesses who is the best role player for the day?
It's Mohit.
Well, you're absolutely correct. It is Toastmaster Mohit. A round of an applause for him. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Next, for the best cable topic speaker, there were three speakers today. So, guest Nishan, Toastmaster Shriram, and guest Jwala. So, any guesses who has got the opportunity to win today?
Nishant.
Well, yes, you're absolutely correct. It is Nishan. A round of an applause. Congratulations. And the last but not the least, it is the auxiliary role pair. Any guesses for the best auxiliary role pair? There were four role players today, and Toastmaster Hiba as the grammarian, Toastmaster Deepti as the timer, and I played the role of our counter and active listener as well. So, any guesses?
Mehak.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Raman. I have got the opportunity to win today. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking part in the meeting today. We really love to have you with us next time for the next Sunday as well at 3:30 p.m. So I would also request the guests to please share your number in the chat section and you all can join us to our newsletter as well as our WhatsApp group. The link for the same has been shared below.
And a quick request to take a group fee. Diptendu, Nishan, can we have your cameras on? Thank you, Jwala. Diptendu, you want
You
to
can't
speak?
right now.
Okay. Chalo. Okay, so I'll just, everybody, you can feel free to use emoticons from Zoom or do a heart like this or a V just to show your love. So I'll back count from 3, 2, 1. And at 1, I'll click print screen. So 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll share the picture on our guest group.
Great.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti. Now I would request the guests to please stay back if you have any questions so that we can address it towards the end of the meeting, as now we